So many of you have asked, so we're going to do it. Today we are going to make flour tortillas, and this is my favorite recipe. This is the one I use all the time, and this is what we're going to do. First, we're going to put up our hair because nobody wants to eat hair in their flour tortillas, am I right? Although it's just us. Nobody else is going to eat these but us. Okay, grind the flour. First, you need your favorite bowl. I don't know why, but this bowl right here is my favorite for making flour tortillas. It just works. Now, there is no yeast in flour tortillas, so I am using soft white wheat. And we're going to be grinding, we want 3.5 cups of soft white wheat. So I'm just gonna grind about 2 3/4 cups, and that should give me about 3.5 cups. Get your hot water boiling. You're going to need 1 cup of very hot water. I obviously ground way too much flour, so I'll put that in the freezer. But here is my 3.5 cups. 1 teaspoon of salt and 1/2 teaspoon of baking powder, not soda, powder. Here's a fun fact. You can actually weigh your grains and weigh the flour, and the weight of the flour is how much weight of the grains you need to grind. So you never have to kind of guess and have extras, but I don't care about the extras. And your grain actually weighs differently. Your hardwood wheat, your soft white wheat, they all have a different weight to them. And I just, you know what? I do it this way, so this is why I do it. But you can weigh them and then grind your weight in grains for flour. Stir this all together, and then once you get it all incorporated, we're going to add 3.5 ounces of fat. It could be Crisco. If you want to play with Crisco, nobody is going to question you or tell you it's bad. If they tell you it's bad, just keep moving. I use bacon. I use chicken fat, bacon fat, the drippings you get from your bacon. I save that. I've used that. I have used tallow. Lard is amazing. Bacon fat's probably my favorite, but we're using 3.5 ounces of chicken fat. Why? Because that is what I have an abundance of right now. So we're just gonna plop that in. And when I freeze my fats, I always freeze them in 3.5 ounce sections because great grandma might be watching. We're gonna clean that jar like it's the 1940s. Nothing goes to waste. Make grandma proud. There. She should be able to look at that jar and say, is it clean or dirty? This is close enough. While we're waiting for the water, this is the pan I use. It's just a Lodge Pro. It's like $15. I use it all the time. Flour tortillas, corn tortillas, it's amazing. 1 cup of boiling water straight over that fat. Don't be so in such a hurry to mix it. Just kind of let the fat start to melt into the water. And then we're just gonna start breaking it up within the hot water because we did just get it out like half an hour ago from the freezer. And then we're gonna mix it all up. And just the warmth of our hands. Wash your hands, right? We all wash our hands. We don't have to show that on video because we know we wash our hands before we touch the food. And then just start mixing it. You don't want to overmix. You're not kneading. No kneading involved. Just mixing. And this is where you get your hands dirty. I'm sorry, but don't you want to feel your food? I want to feel my food. I want to incorporate life into my food. And I have stained fingers from aronia berries. So don't be thinking I have dirty fingers. I don't have dirty fingernails. I literally have stained fingernails from aronia berries. Ooh, that water is hot. I'll be back after I mix it. This is where you're gonna say it's really too wet and soupy and you're going to want to add more flour. Don't add more flour. Let me wash my hands. Because you're working with whole grains and you just ground them, there's a lot of fiber and hard things in the flour, like the chaff and the germ and everything. Just cover it and let it sit for 30 minutes. Alexa, set a timer for 30 minutes, please. Go off and go do something fun. Sorry if I just set your assistant off. I'm gonna go rescue the cats that are fighting out front. 30 minutes is up. Time to undo and roll them into little balls. Yes, you heard me correct. See how it's just, it's taken on, it feels so much better. So we're going to take a little bit out and we're gonna go like this. Now I'm using chicken fat, and chicken fat has, as my fat, it is a little bit different and a little greasier. You could probably use a little bit less fat, but what fun is that, right? And that's what you want. Let me do that again for you. At the same time, I want you to heat your pan up on medium, okay? And we're gonna take a little bit. This recipe should make about 18 balls. Just grab a little bit, take your thumb, pull it in into a circle, right? Moving it in. Now take that bottom, put it on your other palm, and go like this until you get a nice little ball. It's so cute. Look at that. Look at that. That's going to be your future flour tortilla. And you are going to put it under here. I'm going to get going with this and I'll be right back. Grab your rendered tallow or Crisco if you have it, or maybe even butter if you want to. We're going to use it to coat the pan, and this is what I mean by coating the pan. That's it. You're going to do that after every 2 times you make tortillas. Now, let's get to rolling them out. Peekaboo, want to play peekaboo? Peekaboo! You see them? Not anymore. I'm going to keep them covered because the air is going to dry them out. Depending on the fat that you use, depends upon how dry or how wet they are. When I use chicken fat, they're very greasy. That's okay. I like the taste. It doesn't bother me. So we're going to go from the first rolled and put it down on our sheet. And we're just going to roll it out. This is what you use to roll them out. You know those fancy little rolling little tortilla presses? Yeah, that's for corn tortillas. This is what we do for flour tortillas. And you just roll it. And you just, I don't roll in circles. I like to look at mine as a piece of art. So, kind of looks like a Hawaiian island right now. I'm okay with that. Are you okay with that? If you eat at my house, you're okay with it. Turn on your fan because you're gonna want that fan on, and pick up this guy and throw, whoop, I got a hole. First one never goes well. This is a very wet one, so it may not go well, but you got the idea. While that is cooking, roll another one. Roll them as thick or as thin as you want. It tastes the same. And this is what you're going to do. After you roll them out, you gently pull them up. And lay them on the tray. You let them slightly cook until they start bubbling, kind of like pancakes, and then you flip them. You cook them too much, you get tostadas. You cook them not enough, and you get doughy. It's trial and error. The same exact time you're going to be turning your burner down because this cast iron heats up, so keep turning the burner down so you're not burning your tortillas. And the cool thing about it is any mistakes that you make, you eat. It's like ice cream. When you bring it home, you have to scoop off the stuff that melts. I'm just telling you, that's your flour tortilla. Play with the fats, figure out what you like best, and play with the temps. But the one rule of thumb is I have to go because when I make flour tortillas, I can do nothing else but cook the flour tortillas. They go that fast. Talk to you later, guys. Okay, so they are done, and here they are. And I will not tell you how many we have eaten, or I have eaten. He ate one. But this is literally, that's them. They are delicious, amazing, very soft, very pliable. Every time, because you're using real products, every time you grind your flour, use real fat, the product is going to be different. The more you use it, the more you make with it, the more you'll be able to feel and adjust for it. So your failures are still edible, mostly, usually.